I'm not even gonna lie. I am extremely guilty of this exact thing right here. But over on Twitter, I'm not too sure who this guy is, but his name is Isaac. He went ahead and said, Warzone has been out for 513 days, and we still have the same map, no streamer mode, no reconnect feature, no competitive, and the same broken mechanics since day one. DS, stuns, auto mantle, etc. Stop acting like lack of anti-cheat is the only thing holding this game back. Honestly, completely well said, and I agree with so many different points in this tweet specifically. But I do want to make it very clear that I'm not saying that cheating isn't a problem when it comes to Warzone, because it definitely is. I do give Raven so much crap when it comes to, how they handle the cheaters, but at the end of the day, I think I need to stop doing that, because Raven is doing fantastic. They are putting away 50,000, 100+ thousand people every single month. They're doing phenomenal. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. But Activision is not handling the cheaters the way they should be handled. These individuals are able to make their way straight back into the game with absolutely no issues. They have hundreds of different alt accounts, backups, so whenever their accounts do get banned, they can just hop on another one in seconds and get right back into the game. There's no way to permanently remove these people from their game. There's always a solution and a quick way to get back into the title. And yes, IP banning and other things like that aren't the best solution. It's not always going to work, but at least it's something extra. It's going to cost the people who are cheating extra money out of their pocket to enter back into the game. Compared to now, with Activision, where they just spend $5 on a fake phone number, they're already back into the game. They don't even have to do that. It's insane how easy it is to return back into Warzone after getting banned for cheating. But it goes much deeper than a cheating situation, because let's be honest here, even though cheaters are running rampant in Warzone, it's not like you're going to be seeing them every single game. Maybe every other game, maybe every few games, but every single game that you play, I think it's highly unlikely that you're going to be running into a cheater that frequently. So with that being said, people are still being able to get into legitimate lobbies and having the normal Warzone experience. So it has to be more reasons to why everybody is ditching this game. It can't just be the cheating situation. It has to be more. And there is. Like you said in this tweet here, we have had the same map for 513 days. And I don't want to hear a single word from anyone saying, oh, well, we have the new 1980s whatever Verdansk in the game now. No, that is just simply a reskin where they added about like 2, 3, 4 maybe locations into the map that absolutely nobody lands at. Everybody still goes to Superstore still if you want to be a sweat, or maybe the surrounding locations, but nobody goes to new locations at all. And maybe they filled in some extra spots of wide open land, but at the end of the day, it's the same exact map. Compare that to Fortnite, who have already gone through like 4 or 5 different maps. Apex Legends, they still have 3, 4 different maps in rotation. So every time you're playing the game, you can get a different experience every once in a while. PUBG, I believe they have like 5, 6, maybe even 7 maps. They've been working on that game forever, adding in new content. And here's Warzone, almost been out for just as long as all of these other titles. And they're still on the same exact map. And they're wondering why they're falling behind. And they're also wondering why people are leaving their game. It just proves how scummy Activision is. It shows in 6v6 all the time that they're just using it as a cash cow. They're just chucking out random content. They're not polishing their games just because they know people are going to buy it. But then they're doing it in their bestseller as well. Even with a game mode that has made them millions and billions of dollars, they are still not going to invest any of that money to try to improve it. It only takes a small portion of that income, the tiniest portion of that income, to hire a group of developers to design a new map. But they were so lazy and so greedy over their money that they decided to reskin the map. They didn't even bother making a new experience, and that's going to ruin the title. If you're not going to have anything new or refreshing to play, nobody's going to want to come back and play. We've been playing these same locations, these same rotations, these same final zones, the same circumstances for 500+ days, over a year, almost 2 years going on here. It's getting to the point where it's ridiculous. But the lack of map variety isn't the only thing here. Like you also said in this tweet, things like DS, which is dead silence, stun grenades, auto mantling, stuff like that, have all been ruining Warzone for ages. The whole community have been complaining about these god-awful things that have been added into Warzone, and they have not resolved a single problem. I understand people like the fun factor of popping a dead silence or, packing in a magazine of stopping power rounds. But at the end of the day, these things are completely broken in a game mode that's designed around a singular life, and luckily maybe 2 lives if you can survive the gulag. But it's a BR. I'm not trying to invest 30+ minutes into a game where I'm just going to be killed by something that's out of my control. You see, if I can understand when an enemy popped dead silence, if it made a cue, if it made a noise, or alerted me when someone with that perk is around me, like maybe my mini-map flashes yellow when someone's sprinting around the proximity with dead silence on, or something of that sort. Or maybe, I don't know, they can give you some type of visual notification that someone has stopping power rounds in their guns. But they don't do any of that stuff. The amount of times I've lost an extremely fire streak, or even an actual W, to someone who has extremely powerful rounds in their gun, but I have no clue, is just mind-boggling, because you can't even react to stopping power rounds. You know, once you get shot by it, typically that's it for you. You know, you can't react and say, oh, he has stopping power rounds, maybe I should fall back and reposition or try to take another strategic approach. There's no strategy to any of this stuff. It's all randomized. It's all random, lucky bullshit. Every person you go up against, you just have to pray they don't have stopping power rounds in. You're not going to know. You just have to keep your fingers crossed that they're not going to two-tap you in the middle of a gunfight. Same thing with stuns. Stuns ruin Warzone to the maximum degree. You don't see anything this cheesy in any other BR experiences. Like I just said, Apex Legends, Fortnite, all the PUBG, all of these games have a tiny bit of cheese, but at the end of the day, the majority of them all revolve around gun skill. And when you get to the final zone, typically it's because you're versing a better player. In Fortnite, they could either craft better than you. Apex Legends, they have better teamwork than you. You know, PUBG, they have better positioning than you. But in Warzone, it simply does not matter. Someone could just easily chuck a stun across the map, completely blind your screen so you can't move. And especially on mouse and keyboard, I don't think people understand how difficult it is to move anywhere when you're stunned on a mouse and keyboard. Controller, you guys have it a little bit easier when it gets stunned. But on mouse and keyboard, I have to swipe my mouse about 10 different times just to move 2 centimeters to the left. It's a GG. If you get stunned, it's completely over. And the community has complained about this for ages because it completely takes away from the competitive side of Warzone. Now we can say, oh, we wanted to be casual and fun though, but I can understand for a 6v6 perspective or, you know, a battlefield with massive scale warfare and stuff like that perspective, but when it comes to Battle Royale, it's a very competitive genre. Honestly, probably one of the most competitive genres out there, with the most tournaments, probably the highest prize pools. It's very competitive. So when you have cheese like this, and all of it is allowed also in the competitive scene, nobody's going to want to deal with that. Why would any person want to lose out on $100,000 because some noob in the corner decides to chuck 2 stuns at you and you can't move, engage, or even fight back? And also another amazing thing that was in this tweet was no reconnect feature. How ancient is Warzone? It makes no logical sense because all these other BRs have a reconnect feature, and you'll think this will be mandatory when it comes to any BR experience because let's say you're going in, you're 20 minutes deep into a lobby, you invested so much time playing, and then out of nowhere your internet goes out. Now in other Battle Royale experiences, you're allowed to reconnect into the game. You might get shot, you might get killed, but at least they give you an opportunity to make it back, and also allowing your teammates to not be down on a player. But in Warzone, it's chalked. If you get lagged out, not only are you going to completely lose all the progress that you got throughout that match, but now your team is down a player without any possibility of getting you to return. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? Yes, cheaters are a massive problem when it comes to Warzone. They honestly are probably one of the worst problems when it comes to this specific game mode. But it goes much deeper than just the cheaters. They can bring in an amazing anti-cheat system. They could permaban all of these individuals, take all of their accounts, and there cannot be a single cheater left in Warzone. But at the end of the day, as long as some of these things are still implemented, as long as people are disconnecting and having no possible way to get back into the lobby with their friends, I'm getting stunned every 5 seconds, or I'm getting beamed across the map by stopping power rounds, or snuck up on by dead silence in the most random occasions, or even having to play on the same map for over a year. Like, I don't think they understand how crucial new maps are for any game. It's not just 6v6 or other smaller game modes. It's for Warzone as well. It's for Battle Royales. You need to have variety in what you're playing because each new map creates a brand new experience, a brand new vibe that you can have with your friends, brand new end zones. You see what I'm saying here? If I'm going to play on Verdansk for another 2 years, I'm going to be playing on the same thing. I'm going to be running into the same situations. I'm going to be looting the same exact spots. I'm going to be playing in the same exact end zones. It's repetitive and boring. They have to add in something new, but like I said, guys, I just want to make this commentary out here because I know I have been really complaining about cheaters in Warzone a lot lately, but I do want you guys to understand that it is more than just cheaters for the failure of Warzone. way more than you guys can really expect. But guys, thanks so much for tuning into this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like. Bombs, I hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new and you enjoy the content, don't subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, want to chat with me, there's two ways to do so, at Twitter and Discord. Both those links are down in the description. And also, want to catch me live streams of video games I do over on Twitch. Link to that is in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.